My dear students, in this video, I will continue with the story, The Happy Prince. It is a request to all of you to keep watching all the videos in order to understand the story, The Happy Prince. So let me begin. After listening to The Happy Prince, the swallow started thinking. And when he started thinking, he felt sleepy because whenever he thought, he used to feel sleepy. Next morning, the swallow bird went to the river and took a bath and thought that night he would reach Egypt. He was very happy. He visited all the monuments of the city and finally he went and sat on the high tower of the church. When it was night and the moon rose in the sky, the swallow went to Happy Prince and sought permission to leave for Egypt. But again, the Happy Prince requested the swallow to stay with him for one more night. And the bird replied that he needed to go to Egypt because his friends were waiting for him. The Happy Prince started telling the bird about his second assignment. He said that far away across the city, he could see in a small dark room at the top of the house, a young man was sitting. He was sitting on a desk on which some papers were spread all over. He was trying to work hard. He had a glass lying near him in which withered flowers were lying. The Happy Prince gave a description of the boy. He said that he had brown and crisp hair, which implied that he did not take a bath for a long time. His lips were red in color, like a pomegranate, and he had big dreamy eyes. In fact, he was very ambitious and hard-working. Further, the Happy Prince explained that the boy required to finish writing a play. He was a writer. He had to give the play to the director after writing, but he was lacking strength and so he was unable to write. At the same time, he was feeling very cold. He had no money, so there was no fire in his fireplace. He was even hungry. He was feeling very weak. The swallow understood what the Happy Prince was trying to tell him. He knew that the Happy Prince wanted to help this boy, so he agreed to stay back for one more night. The swallow asked the Happy Prince if he should take another ruby stone to give it to the young playwright just as he had given to the seamstress. The prince replied that it was very sad that he did not have any ruby stones with him, but he had his eyes, which were made of very precious and rare sapphire stones, which had been brought thousands of years ago from India. He ordered the swallow to take out the sapphire from one of the eyes and give it to the boy. The swallow felt sad to learn that the happy prince wanted to give his eyes to that boy, and he started crying. He told happy prince that he could not do so. But then the happy prince insisted the swallow to do what he had told him to do. So finally, the swallow took out one eye, that is, one of the sapphires, out of the prince's eye and flew to the young man's garret. There was a hole on the roof of the room. The swallow entered the room through that hole. The boy was sitting with his head on his hands, and that's why he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. When the boy looked up, he saw the sapphire stone lying on the dried flowers. When the boy saw the precious stone, he thought that maybe some admirer, someone who praised him, had sent a gift for him. So he thought that with the gift he could now finish his play. Next morning, the swallow flew down to the seaport and sat on a mast of a ship. He spoke loudly that he was going to Egypt the next day. When it was dark, he flew back to Happy Prince. Once again, the bird told the Happy Prince that he had come to say goodbye. He was going to Egypt. But once again, the Happy Prince requested the bird to stay with him for one more night. The swallow said to Happy Prince that the winter season had started, and after some time it would start snowing. He would not be able to tolerate the cold. In Egypt, the weather was warm, and even the crocodiles laid lazily on the mud. So he requested the Happy Prince to allow him to go to Egypt. After this, what happened, I will tell you in the next video. Until then, goodbye. Have a nice day.